Good day everyone, my name is Jessamine Tatlahari from BSHM Cavite, and now I will discuss to you Unit 4 of Gender, Culture, and Institution. First, let us know our learning objectives. So, learning objectives. After reading and analyzing the unit, you should be able to 1. Explain the gender role. 2. Describe differences between gender and sex. 3. Is discuss about gender equality. First, let us understand the introduction. So, what is gender? So, gender is not determined by biology, but the result of sexual characteristics of either a woman or a man. It is also socially constructed. So, it is a social. So it. So it is a social So it is a social construct that affects the attitudes, roles, responsibilities, and behavior of boys and girls, women, and all society. Increasing attention has been given to the importance of achieving gender equality in education. To date, however, most of the efforts have focused on addressing gender parity, an equal number of portions of girls and boys accessing educational opportunities. Although simple gender parity may be easier to measure, gender equality to encompass a wider concept, of which gender parity is only a part. Gender equality moves beyond access and requires that girls and boys and also experience the same level of quality and outcomes of educations. One of the key impediments to the achieving gender equality in education is that it cannot be addressed in a vacuum. Rather, educational constitutions are products of the inequalities that exist larger in society. Educational institutions are shaped by social forces. It perpetuates gender-based discrimination, yet they can also essentially be a tool to effect great change throughout community or social contexts. Behaviors and beliefs form in between schools and education, and institutions have lasting impact on gender relations in society. Educational systems are both a result of an external force and instrumental perpetration on gender disparity around the world. So it is very important for us or the people in school to exclude discrimination, to have a wider opportunity for everyone to have. So there is no gender bias and discrimination to one person. So now let's discuss the theories of gender roles. So traditional theories have often assumed that gender identity and roles are naturally given, stemming from biological differences. Some specific perspectives supported the idea that gender roles are influenced by biology, using the evolutionary explanation based on description of Paleolithic hunter-gatherer societies. This theory suggests that the factors like the care of offspring limited females' freedom to hunt and hold positions of power. So in 1980s, influenced by feminism works and reflection on sexuality, the idea that gender is unrelated to biological sex gained traction, particularly in sociological and cultural anthropology. The view that argues that a person can be born with the male genitalia but still identify as feminine. R.W. Connell conducted the research on the connection between biology and gender roles, conducting there is no definite link. However, most scientists reject Connell's research due to the concrete evidence demonstrating the impact of hormones on behavior. Although hormone levels can vary and intersect conditions can complicate the relationship. So Simon Baron Cohen, a professor of psychological and physiology, suggested that the female brain is primarily wired for empathy, while the male brain is predominantly wired understanding and building system. Real-world cases such as David Lumiere, who has unsuccessfully regained a female gender, demonstrated that raising a child in a cross-dress role does not necessarily result in child fully adapting to that role. Western and Western societies have witnessed a trend both male and women sharing tasks traditionally associated with with a specific gender, while adaptability and similarity in occupationals and responsibility. There are still differences in average capabilities between sexes, such as physical strength. Some capabilities conventionally assigned to one sex and may also be present in individual of other sex. So in this topic, we can see that there are there are there are many theories in regards of gender. So Simon Baron Cohen, he believed that that the female brain is known to be more caring, while the male brain is focused on building a society. And the other theories that was Simon oh, the other theory, Simon Devars, the feminist, he believed that there is no impact on a child if the parent is nakastress. I think the main focal point of this topic is that gender can factor in someone, but as well as I also believe that a child does not see his parent if she or he is cross dressing. He just believe that this is my parent. He respects his parents, and he does not see um as a child you do not see what is good or bad. It is presented to you what it is. So, naniniwala, pag ng mga batang nakakita sila ng magulang nila nagka-cross-dress, hindi nila nakikitang masama yun. Nakikita man nilang kakaiba, pero hindi nila nakikita masama yun. Kasi ang mga bata is, hindi sila naturally evil. So, sa choice of gender, lagi nilang sinasabi na ang mga babae is more nurturing, tapos ang mga lalaki is more on focused on building a society, giving, providing. So, I think naman na natama siya noon, pero ngayon kasi nagkakamera na tayo ng gender equality. Nagkakamera ng pantay-pantay na views para sa ating lahat, na hindi lang lalaki na ngayon ang nagpro-provide, pati na ang babae. So, for my last topic, is socialization. So what is socialization? Socialization refers to which individuals learn and accept societal roles. Socialization occurs through channels such as schools and media, which provide sanction to encourage desired behavior and discourage unwanted behavior. Children typically follow the example set by their parents, siblings, teacher, which help establish behavioral norms. Accepted behavioral norms is primarily shaped through socialization rather than coercion imposed by a social system. Although historic examples of coercion exist in forced desired response or functions, in most traditional and developmental social systems, individuals have some degree of social choice in conforming to socialization process. The consequences of this voluntary process can range from beneficial to dysfunction. They can play a role in influencing gender roles and expectations, which institutionalize gender differences. So, ang socialization is yung mga Ayun yung mga bagay na natututunan natin sa pamamagitan ng pag-interact sa ibang tao. Yun yung mga nakikita nating mga bagay na ginagawa nila. And kalimitan, ito yung na-apply sa mga bata kasi maliit pa lang sila. Kung sino yung mga taong kadalasan na kasalimuhan nila, napipick up nila yung mga behavioral na gawain nila. So, for example, kung nakita kang batang nagmumura, so it may be na parents niya or someone na kilala niya na lagi niyang kasama is nagmumura din. So, kapag nga ang socialization is, ngayon, ang socialization, nagkakaroon tayo ng choice kung anong gusto nating tanggapin sa pakikipag-socialize. May choice na tayong piliin kung ano yung gusto nating tanggapin to conform to the social system. So kapag nakipag-socialize tayo, dapat isipin natin na kung yung nakukuha natin is magandang role or magandang bagay na nakukuha natin sa pakipag-socialize. So, kasi nga, kapag pangit yung nakuha mong bagay habang nakikipag-socialize, pwede kang maging dysfunctional. Pwedeng mas mag-iba yung tingin mo mag-iba yung perspective mo, mag-iba yung tingin mo na iba na yung choices mo, pwedeng mapasama or mapabuti. Depende sa bagay na nakukuha natin. Yun ang socialization. So while typically encouragement and expectation of gender roles behavior may not have influential power as they did in the past, socialization process still exists within family values, peer pressure, employment centers, and various communication mediums with social systems. Once individual accepts certain gender roles and differences as expected behavioral norms, the street becomes part of their responsibility. Sanctions imposed for unwanted behaviors and world conflict can lead to stress. So, yun nga, na may choices na tayo pumili kung anong gusto nating matanggap sa socialization process. Nasa sa atin na yun kung gusto nating piliin yung maganda or pangit na bagay. So, para naman ma-connect natin sa gender na through socialization, dati, pag talaga nakakita mo yung mga kababaihan talaga dati is laging sila yung taong bahay. Laging sila yung mga taong gagawa ng chores sa bahay, sila naglilinis, sila nagluluto. Tapos mga kalimitang kalalakihan, sila lang yung may karapatan na mag-aral, sila yung may karapatan na magtrabaho. Ngayon, iba na syempre ngayon. May choice na tayo kung ano yung gusto nating gawin. May choice na tayong paniwalaan yung mga bagay na nakikita natin. Nasa sa atin na yan kung gusto natin i-apply sa buhay natin or mag-research, alamin ang tunay na bagay. So ngayon, nakikita na natin na nagkakameron ng gender equality. Mga kababaihan ngayon, nagkakameron na sila ng chance na makapagtrabaho. Na ngayon, parang nanonormalize na din yung pagiging mga kalalakihan ang nasa bahay habang ang breadwinner nila is yung mga babae, yung mga asawa nila. Which is totally normal. Okay, walang masama sa pagiging stay-at-home dad. Wala ding masama sa isang babaeng provider. Ang takeaway lang natin from socialization is yung mga magagandang bagay na pwede nating i-apply sa buhay natin and avoid discrimination or being sexist. Kasi wala namang bagay na ibibigay yung pagkagalit sa isang tao or sa isang gender. Kasi ikaw lang yung maapektuhan nun. Ikaw at yung mga taong yun ay maapektuhan na maaaring magkameron sila ng stress kasi hindi.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Jimerson, and I will be discussing the culture and gender roles. Culture refers to shared beliefs, values, and custom, behavior, and practice that characterize particular group of people. It encompasses various aspects of life, including social interaction, tradition, language, arts, and social style norms. Gender roles, and on the other hand, are social expectation, behavior, and responsibilities that society is assigned to individual based on their perceived gender. Culture plays a significant role in shaping gender roles as it influences how society defines and understands masculinity and femininity. Different cultures have different expectations and norms regarding the rules, behaviors, and responsibilities of individuals based on gender. Sa maraming tradisyonal na kultura, ang mga tungkulin ng kasarian ay may posibilidad na maging masigit na batay ang mga tradisyonal na ideya ng pagkalalaki at pagkababae. Ang mga tungkulin ito ay kadalasang nagtatalaga ng mga partikular na gawain, trabaho at pag-uugali sa mga individual batay sa kanilang kasarian. Halimbawa, ang mga lalaki ay maaaring asahan ng mga maging pangunahing tagahanap ng kabuhayan at humawak ng higit na paninindigan at panginibabaw na mga tungkulin, habang ang mga babae ay maaaring inaasahan sa tumuon sa pag-aalaga at pagpapanatili ng sambahayan. At ang ganitong kultura ay kadalasang nagpapatibay ng natatanging mga inaasahan na kasarian. Nagpapatibay ng mga nililimitahan ang mga pagpipilian at pagkakataon ng mga individual batay sa kanilang kasarian. Gayunpaman, ang mga tungkulin ng kasarian ay hindi inaayos na maaaring mag-iba ng malaki sa mga kultura at pagbabago sa paglipas ng panahon. Sa madaming modernong lipunan, nagkaroon ng lumalagong pagkilala sa pangangailangan para sa pagkakapantay-pantay ng kasarian at pagbagsak ng mga mahigpit at stereotype ng kasarian. Ang mga pagsisikap na hamunin ang mga tradisyonal na tungkulin ng kasarian ay humantong sa mas maraming pagkakataon para sa individual na ituloy ang mas malawak na hanay ng mga tungkulin, profesyon at interest ang kanilang kasarian. While progress has been made towards achieving gender equality in many societies, there are still significant variation in gender roles and expectations across culture, factors that are religion, socioeconomic status, historical context, and geographic location can influence culture perspective on gender roles. Understanding and challenging these culture norms and expectation is crucial for promoting gender equality and creating inclusive societies that respect and value individuals regardless of their genders. And the next is gender roles and feminism. Gender roles refers to a social cultural expectation and norms that dedicate how individuals should behave based on their perceived gender. This role typically defines the roles and responsibilities men and women in society. Historically, gender roles have been largely based on stereotype and have limited individuals' opportunities and choice, reinforcing inequalities between genders. Feminism is a social and political movement that advocate for gender equality, challenging and dismantling the traditional gender roles and power imbalance between men and women. Feminism seeks to promote the rights and autonomy of all genders and work toward creating a more exclusive and equitable society. Ang feminism ay sumasaklo sa iba't ibang mga hibla ng teorya, ngunit lahat ng sila ay nagbabahagi layunin patugon sa diskriminasyon at pagkaapi at nakabatay sa kasarian. Ito ang ilang mga pangunahing ideya at konsepto sa loob ng feminism na kinabibilangan ng gender equality, pangalawa, intersectionality, pangatlo, patriarchy, pang-apat, body autonomy, panglima, gender stereotypes, and pang-anim, empowerment and agency. Mahalagang tandaan, ang feminism ay hindi isang monolitikong kilusan at iba't ibang individual at grupo na may iba't ibang panunaw o prioridad. Gayunpaman sa kaibuturan nito, ang feminism ay naglalayong hamunin at baguhin ang hindi pantay na dinamika ng kapangyarihan at pamantayang panlipunan na napapanatili ng demokrasya at pag-aapi na nakabatay sa kasarian. Next is homosexuality and gender roles. Ang homosexuality ay tumutukoy sa romantikong or sexual na attraction sa pagitan ng mga individual at parehong kasarian. Ito ay isang natural na magkakaibang aspeto ng sexualidad ng tao na naobserbahan ng iba't ibang kultura sa buong kasaysayan. Ang homosexuality ay itinuturing na isang normal at malusog na pagkakaiba ng sexualidad ng tao sa mga pangunahing medical o psychological na organisasyon kabilang ang World Health Organization at American Psychological Association. Ang tungkulin ng kasarian sa kabilang banda ay ang mga inaasahan ng pamantayan ng lipunan ay patungkol sa kung paano dapat kumilos ang mga individual batay sa kanilang pinaghihinalaang kasarian. Ang mga inaasahan na ito ay maaaring mag-iba sa mga kultura na umunlad sa paglipas ng panahon. Ang mga tradisyonal ay tungkol sa kasarian ay karaniwang nagtatalaga sa iba't ibang mga tungkulin, responsibilidad ng mga lalaki at babae, kadalasang batay sa mga stereotype at pagpapalagay tungkol sa kanilang mga kakayahan at katangian. It's important to note that sexual orientation and gender identity are distinct aspects of human sexuality. While sexual orientation refers to a person is attracted to, gender identity refers an individual internal sense of their own gender, which may or may not align with the sex they were assigned at birth. Therefore, it's crucial to respect and affirm the diversity of both sexual orientation and gender identities of gender roles. First is reproductive roles. Ang mga kababaihan, sila yung nagdadala ng kanilang anak sa sinapupunan. At ang mga lalaki ay nag-provide ng mga gastusin. Pangalawa is productive roles. Parehas na kasarian ang gumagawa upang makabayad at pambili ng mga pangailangan at sa mga basic na pangailangan at pagbabayad ng mga kuryente. And pangatlo is community managing role. Community is mostly done by women voluntarily walang hinihinging kabayad or kapalit. Community roles, politics roles. Yang kadalasan ang mga lalaki ay gumagawa katulad ng pagtakbo bilang pangulo dahil may kakayahan sila at naniniwala na sila ay may mas higit na leadership roles. And last, multiple roles. Both men and women, ang kaibahan ng mga lalaki ay nakapokus sa iba, unlike sa babae na kaya nilang pagsabay-sabayin ang mga gawain. The gender-based division of labor ascribed in a given socio-economic setting determine the roles that men and women actually perform. Since men and women play different roles, they often face very different cultural, institutional, physical, and economic constraints, many of which are rooted in systematic basis and discrimination.